Hello everyone. Today we would like to present our final project titled Sentiment Analysis of IMDb Movie Reviews using Convolutional Neural Network. Before we started, let me introduce my team member. First is myself, Wiley, from Industrial and Information Management, and my teammate, Chandra, from Information Management Department. Okay, let's get started. Here is our outline today. First, we will explain the introductions, why we choose this topic and the objective of this study, and then describing high-level architecture. Next is overview of convolutional neural network, and then the detailed process of coding, including how to pre-process the data, training, testing, and validation using several optimizers. And in the last sections, we will discuss about the results and draw a conclusion. Sentiment analysis, also known as opinion mining, is a technique used to determine the emotional tone behind a series of words. It's used to gain an understanding of the attitudes, opinion, and emotion expressed within an online mention. There are several key reasons why the sentiment analysis is important. The first, because it helps in understanding public opinion. Then it enhances customer service by analyzing the feedback. The next is it informs business and marketing strategies. And last but not least, it drives product and service improvements based on sentiment data. There are two main reasons why we choose IMDb movie reviews. The first is because its relevancy. IMDb is one of the largest and most popular online database for movies, TV shows, and celebrities. It contains a vast collection of user-generated reviews, providing a rich dataset for sentiment analysis. And the second is because its richness. The reviews cover a wide range of movies across different genres, languages, and countries. And the user ratings are often accompanied by detailed written feedback, offering a mix of quantitative and qualitative data. And this is the high level of architecture. The IMDb movie datasets contain a collection of movie reviews along with binary sentiment labels. And in the next stage is data pre-processing. In this stage, we remove numbers, punctuations, marks, spatial characters, and white spaces. And in the third stage is word embedding, to represent movie reviews from text to numerical form using embedding layer in Python. And the next is train CNN model with 4 different optimizers. The first is ADA, second is ADA-Grade, RMS-Prop, and ADA-Delta. And in the last stage is predictions, performing the reviews in positive and negative level. In this project, we use the IMDb movie reviews dataset from open source. This dataset is a benchmark dataset for binary sentiment classifications. It contains a collection of movie reviews and each label as either positive or negative. And this is the example of the reviews. In the first column represents the comment or the review itself, and then the second column represents the label or the classification. It can be positive or negative. Okay. First thing first, let's take a look into the data set. Here is the example of the data of the review. It contains some irregular form, such as the blue one, this one, this form, we have to clean our dataset to get rid of this form, so our dataset will be in a standard form. In this step, we define a custom standardization functions to pre-process the text data by converting to lowercase. This one by converting the string to lowercase, and then removing the HTML text and stripping punctuations. In this case, the blue highlighted text are the examples of irregular forms that we need to clean from the dataset. Okay. The next is word embedding to transform a word into dense vector. The embedding dimensions used are 128, and the sequence length is 500. This illustrates how the word embedding works. Okay, from the word, we will convert into the vectorized layer. In this case, we want to convert the word into integer number, and then after we convert the word into integer number, we will convert it into the dense vector using these functions. Okay. This is the CNN architecture. The input has a height of 500 and width 128 with a 7 kernel size. The next is we use a valid padding to check the compatibility with fixed size input expectations and for preserving positional information within the sequence. To reduce the dimensionality, we use the max pooling operations. It works by dividing the input into a set of non-overlapping regions and taking the maximum value from each region. We use the max pooling one dimensions, reducing the feature maps to one dimension vector 128, and after that we get the output layer, which is the final layer in the CNN architecture. It is typically a fully connected or dense layer with an activation function. In this case, we use sigmoid activation function to produce the final output. This case produce a single output binary classification. Okay. In the last section, I will discuss about the results in terms of training loss, accuracy, and computation time. Based on the training loss in different optimizer, each optimizer, whether it's ADAM, AdaGrad, RMSProf, and AdaDelta, produce different converged training loss value, okay, in a y-axis. While ADAM optimizers got converged in the earlier epoch, from 2 epochs, we can see that it's already converged, while the others optimizers show the decline trend of loss, but it doesn't mean that it represents as convergent. Okay. In terms of accuracy, optimizer result the validations, the orange line, better than training accuracy, the blue line. in all the optimizer. In the 5 epoch of Adam, RMS prop and ADA delta show the convergent accuracy for training. The blue line in Adam start from 1 to 5. There is no change in terms of accuracy of the training data, while the in RMS prop and ADA delta from epoch 2, it shows that it already converged, while ADA grade shows the increased accuracy in training since in second epoch. Okay. The last is computation times. In terms of computation times, ADA grades show the fastest computation time, while Adam gets the slowest computation time or higher computation time in this case. Okay, that's all our presentations today. Thank you.
Yep. Hello everyone. Thank you, Laili. And here is the implementation. Okay. Yeah, implementation of the code. I think Laili already discussed about the theoretical concept of dataset, theoretical concept of backward and forward propagation, and also the result of our model. So in this video, I will continue and discuss about the implementation. Yeah, before I start the discussion, I will tell to you that we have two kind of video. The first is this one, which means is the edited and final video for submission, and also a detailed video of this code description. I will hand in those two videos, and if you think that my presentation for the basic one is not detailed enough, you can move to the second video, because I need more time to tell to you, to discuss to you about the basic concept. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's talk about the gradient, computing gradient. There are two kind of gradient. The first is forward pass, and the second is backward pass. Forward pass is how to calculate input to be output, and we expect it's positive, and then we pass the text to a model, then the output shall be positive too, because we think that it's positive, and our model shall have the same perception of us. It's for forward, and for backward is the way to update the weight to be converged, because a model initiated with random number, we doesn't care about the random number, because we will update it in future. We will update until the model is converged and same as our expectation. It's the objective of backward. Here is the example. If the x is like this is the input, and the formula will be like this, so the output is here. It's because of 2.5 power by 2 is equal to 6.25. And then by using classical stochastic gradient descent, you can get the future weight of y to be 5, because by using partial derivative, x point power by 2 derivative to x, that means the formula will be 2 multiplied by x, then the gradient of x will be 2 multiplied by x. Here is example, the second example. We call it W is a weight of a layer, and bias is also weight, but the position is different. For weight, the objective is to multiply x, and the p, which is bias, is aimed to sum after those multiplication. Here is the formula: x multiplied by w, and the result will be dot product, and dot product will added by p. And if you want to find partial derivative or w or bias, you can use this way, and you will get the first partial derivative of w and p. In TensorFlow, you don't need to define weight, p, formulation, and other by yourself. You can just use API. Why we call it API? Because I don't know behind this dance. I don't know. Sorry, actually I know. Actually I know what the API do, but I assume that I don't know. But I know the concept of dense layer. It's like x multiplied by w plus p, right? It's the origin layer. We call it dense. Actually, there are so many layers in the world, like attention, like dense variable, like liquid dense, and other kind of layers. So many layers in the world, and it's not possible to follow one by one. So we just use layer that provided by TensorFlow. And the activation is ReLU. What is ReLU is? ReLU is a rectified linear unit. In the simple way, if the x is lower than 0, then the output will be 0. And then on the right hand side, if the output is larger than 0, then the output will be half of the input. If your input is 1, then the output is 0.5. It's an activation layer. So many activation layer in the world. You can use ReLU, you can use Sigmoid. I think those two are the most popular layer, but in different objective. For ReLU, it's for hidden layer, and Sigmoid is for activation layer. I mean the end layer, output layer. Yeah, if you use this API, just copy the variable in here, and you can calculate gradient in easy. Okay, then I will share to you about Adam Optimizer. In classical way, you can use classical stochastic gradient descent, but it's in classic, the conversion speed is quite low. That's why many researchers try to optimize the update function by adding Adam Optimizer is the example. So you can just run this iteration, and here start from 0. The loss function result will be 0.26, but if we iterate many times to be 900, the loss will be close to 0. That means our model is almost close or almost converged. Actually, I'm not sure is there any model that can really convert to dataset. Yeah, it's because of so many limitation of layer and mathematics, and dataset pattern is so unique and also detailed. So we as the researcher trying to get the best model to observe a dataset pattern by using our best model. It's our objective now. But so far, no model can get really zero loss function. That means it's really converge. But it's our dream right now. It's really hard to get 0.0000 loss function. Maybe until today, until the video is created, the loss function that I noticed is about 0.0002, but it's on dummy dataset. It's not on real dataset. So yeah, maybe in future you guys and or everyone can try to develop a model that can really jump into the converge or the most lowest loss function. Okay, here is the second example. I use 1000 to get the lowest function. It's even I already run 2000, right? The first is 1000 and the second is 1000, but the loss is not zero. Here is if you want to get the weight, and here is the Adam optimizer. If you want to learn, you can output, you can read this paper. Adam, I think is really new optimizer because it published in 2014, and Adam is the stochastic optimization that combine momentum and gravity, if I'm not wrong. So in theoretical way, Adam is the best optimization right now based on theoretical way. Okay, here is the formulation. Then here is the full case example if you want to run backpropagation. There are two layers defined, and I set sigmoid of every single layer, and I use mean square error or MSA as a loss function. And here is the result of every single update. Yeah, again, if you want to watch the detail, you can follow the second video. But in this video, I will discuss about point of the basic gradient descent. Okay, then we continue to discuss about the real case. Yeah, I think on the beginning of the file it's the same as the basic one. Here is the data loading. First you need to read maybe 6,000 data training and 15,000 data validation, and we separate to be several pages to make sure our device can load every single page. Here's the example. So the original text like this, and the label is 2, but I think some character is not necessary, like PR. There is no meaning for PR, it's just tag. That's why we use pre-processing technique to remove unnecessary character. yeah, so many things tool that we can do for pre-processing, but in this opportunity I will use regression expression or regex, which is the lowest and the simple one, and also string, and I will convert every single character to be integer, and I also create a page. And here is the model from tutorial. Yeah, actually if you want to use Adam by default, you can just use compile, and this line can help you to create optimization to be easy, but in this opportunity I will use handcrafted Adam. So I need to define loss function is the learning rate optimization. Okay, for learning rate optimization is because why it necessary for model, because if you move the point too close to the converge point, the point may not be exact at the lowest point because the moving rate is too fast. That's why we need to have a lower learning rate at the end of the iteration. And there are one popular learning rate that I remember. Learning rate optimization, warming up. Yeah, I think this one. Warming up learning rate something. Yeah, but in this opportunity I will use exponential decay that started from 0.00001 as the initial learning rate and then lower down to be close to 0. And here is the loss. We can see the loss value is lower. That means our learning rate is correct, and also our Adam optimizer is correct because it can be converged. Even it's not close to 0, but I think this loss value is pretty good for practical. And here we try to fit model to data train, and the accuracy is about 0.167, and for the data test the accuracy is about half, 0.5. Here's the Adam. And here is I want to show you the change weight from the first iteration until the end iteration. Is changed every time. And here if I use ADA gradient, is the second optimization technique. Okay, the loss function is different because the optimization technique different, but the validation and accuracy score is the same because the optimization is a way to update model weight, while the important part of updating weight is also important. But if the model is quite simple to observe pattern of the dataset, even the optimizer is really good, but the result will be the same. we prove in this experiment. But if the model is too big and too complicated, but our optimizer is not good, then our model will be so slow and need more time to train the model. And the third one, I use RMSprop propagation. Even I already changed the optimization technique, the accuracy score and the validation accuracy is still the same. Or even ada delta, the result is, I think, still be the same. What is the differences? The differences is the convert speed. If ada delta, the convert speed is 6 millisecond. For RMSprop is maybe 6.2. For Adam gradient is 5 millisecond, and for Adam need where's my Adam, 7 millisecond of every single epoch. Yeah, I think it's enough. So if you have any question, please email me or email Laili to get more information. Yeah, it's all from me. Thank you everyone. Good afternoon. Bye bye.